Today I'm sitting here with Mark Conroy of Union Leasing. He's Vice President of Sales, and Mark is a previous president of AFLA and has about 30 years of experience in the automobile business. Many layers of things he did before he is where he is now, which I think is always an interesting point that we bring to the organization. It's not as though we've just done one job, we've done many. Mark, you want to talk to us a little bit about how you got involved and who helped you along the way?
Actually, I received a call sometime in 2001 from Jim Rollo from PHH, and I always respected Jim as a competitor and as an industry knowledge broker, and he asked me to run for director of lessors. At first I thought, boy, I'm pretty busy, as all of us have schedules. I was traveling extensively at that time, and I said, Jim, well, I just don't know if I'd have the time to do it effectively. And in Jim's persuasive ways, he said, Mark, this is something that really won't take a lot of time. You're representing the lessors, of which you're part of that group, and if anybody had any questions, they could funnel it through you. But the board really just kind of takes an approach of you're there if necessary. So Jim talked me into joining AFLA as director of lessors. I ran in 2002 and was successful.
And during your presidency, I know you had a focus on a lot of relevant topics in the industry, and I've got a couple of them here if you want to talk about sort of your agenda, your platform. I know we talked about telematics, and certainly about the emission standards which were going on, and the cost of fuel, which continues to be a subject we discuss, and of course the greening of corporate fleets. The hybrid vehicle, the multitasking, which is incredible, and the accounting rules, which still are something that's up in the air we are dealing with today. And I believe you were the first one to have AFLA begin publishing white papers. So if you'd like to talk about the relevance of that and how it's moving forward.
We, in my role as director of lessors, I was able to sit in on a lot of meetings. Jim was the president that first year.
Yes.
I believe Jim Anselmi, Rick Nicoletti, Patsy Bronson,
Yes.
and I think Scott Threadgold from Church of Latter-day Saints. So I got to view all the different styles, and what I found with AFLA is everybody did play a part on the board and the directors, but you could see as the year progressed before the conference that we could take those proactive issues, or those issues that we had to react to proactively, and we can put them on the agenda and bring fresh material to the conference. And we were also getting feedback from a lot of our members. We started doing some membership satisfaction with the conference surveys at the end. During Patsy Bronson's tenure just before me, she conducted a 5-year strategic meeting, or it might have been Rick Nicoletti. I don't want to give credit to who it was, but one of those two individuals put a plan together for the next 5 years. And following Patsy, where all the accounting rules and globalization was happening, it just corporations started looking at cutting costs. The environment was very important. Hybrids became a hot topic, not only on the government side, but in private fleets and all across America, as a matter of fact. And there were so many choices, no one really knew which way to go. So that topic was hot. Telematics exploded with the technology to be able to drive costs out of a vehicle.
Exactly.
Life cycle costing. So I certainly was fortunate to be president during a time where there was a lot of need for information, and we had a lot of experts to choose from to speak to us. And AFLA always provided me with a great ability to meet a lot more people than I ever did. It expanded me into areas from suppliers to manufacturers to competitors, and it's probably the best thing I ever did is get involved in the organization just because of the amount of people I met.
I think it helps add value to you, and whatever you do, you have customers, whether they're customers you sell to or your customers are your internal corporate people that you need to sell an idea to, and the more knowledge that you have, and it's better to be a futurist, to have some of the knowledge ahead of the trend instead of being behind the trend.
Right.
And I think that's what AFLA does provide us, is that snapshot, if you will, into what's coming, what we might do to respond to it in all of our different business environments.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I failed to mention in that last question is we partnered with a public relations agency out of Minneapolis called Ewald and Associates, and they put everything together in a nice package for us,
Yes.
utilizing our leadership, which most of us have other jobs, so it's not a full-time opportunity for us. So Paul Hanscom and David Ewald and his staff
Yes.
really helped us become a much more exposed and aware organization, getting the word out to the entire industry.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Yeah, I think it brought us to another level, a more professional level,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's important. And I'd like to bring up that the conference is going to be at the Biltmore in Phoenix, Scottsdale area on September 9 through 11. Please be sure you're there. I know that Mike has an exciting agenda planned,
Yes, it is.
and he's looking at a lot of the issues, the new issues that we face, you know, with the shortage of vehicles and the shift in the auto industry and the economic forecasts that should be very interesting, if not sort of, we just don't know how that's going to turn out, but we're going to tune in. And I'd like to thank you, Mark, for
Thank you.
your service,
Thank you.
and thank you very much for all you brought to the table.
Appreciate it. Thank you.